Hi, my name is Dr. Ike Hirschman. As a close friend of the rabbi and as a frequent guest at Eitz Chaim, I'm delighted to have been asked to say a few words of Torah commemorating the Shloshim of the rabbi's dad, Isser ben Avram Chaim, Dr. Edward Klibanoff, alav shalom. I'm recording this in beautiful Atlantic Beach. I'm sure you all recall that Parai felt threatened by the growing Jewish population in Egypt. His solution was to speak to Shifra and Puah, the Jewish midwives, and order them to kill all the Jewish males at birth and to let the females live. The Torah relates that the midwives feared God and did not kill the children. When questioned, the midwives told Parai that the Jewish women weren't like other women. They all gave birth before the midwives were able to get there to help. As a result, they weren't able to fulfill Paro's orders. Rashi tells us that Shifra was Yocheved and Puah was Miriam. The name Shifra was because al shem shemishaperet et havlad. She would clean and physically take care of the newborns. The name Puah was because al shem shepoah umdaberet v'hoigel of vlad kederach hanashim hamafaisim tinak boiche. She would coo and talk to the newborns as if comforting a crying child. The Chafetz Chaim asks, we know that Miriam and Yocheved were lofty individuals who were indeed prophets. How, asks the Chafetz Chaim, could they have been so reduced to doing such menial tasks? Rav Yerucham from the Mir brings out a fundamental principle from this story. He relates that we have no such thing as little things and big things. Minimal tasks are important tasks. There are only big people and little people. To big people, nothing is menial. In fact, they elevate the most mundane act to something meaningful and significant. To little people, everything is little. They trivialize the significant and squander the biggest possibilities. Shifra and Puah were Nevi'os, prophets. They were big people, and they were able to elevate what seemed like menial tasks to a high spiritual level, and thereby built a world that the Bali Musar explained we should strive for. Dr. Klibanoff, alav shalom, was one of these big people. He did not squander or trivialize any opportunities. His behavior in the armed forces, in his medical career, and in his personal life made it clear that he was able to elevate everything he did from the mundane to the spiritual. Ralph Wolbe, the Mashgiach at the Mir, in his Sefer Alei Shor, talks about the concept of being Mekabel Kol Adam B'Sefer Panim Yafos. This is essentially learning how to properly welcome people. Rav Wolbe tells a story about Rav Moshe Rosenstein, who went to study in the yeshiva in Kelm. When he got there for the first time, an older Avrich came out and gave him a big smile and a very warm greeting. He immediately took him inside and served him a meal. Rav Rosenstein was sure that this Avrich must know him or his family, and he was embarrassed that he couldn't remember him. When he left the dining area, he was shocked that everyone in the Kelm Yeshiva gave him a similar greeting. Big people take seemingly little things and make them really big. Most people need to work on developing these traits. Dr. Klibanoff, however, was a natural. Besides being a gifted, caring physician and an amazing member of our armed forces, as I mentioned, he was also an exemplary husband, father, grandfather, and friend. He was that big person that must have roots in Kelm. Whenever he came to Atlantic Beach, he was the first person in shul. He greeted us like he knew us forever. He engaged us in conversation that made us feel that he genuinely cared about us. He was a big man, and as such, he realized that seemingly little things a father does can have a profound effect on the way his children develop. He understood that you can only teach spirituality by example, and therefore, his dedication to davening and learning made a serious impact on his entire family, and in fact, challenged the family members to not squander their opportunities. Rav Avigdor Miller Zatzal told me that most of us do not understand our hashgacha pratis. Somehow the Ribbono Shel Olam ordained that some of us would learn full-time and become Talmidei Chachamim. Some of us would learn a trade, be business people, teachers, first responders, doctors, etc. He made it clear that we need to understand that no matter what our position in life is, if we conduct ourselves appropriately and make a Kiddush Hashem, we become big people, and we get schar as if we spent all day learning in a beis medrash. Dr. Klibanoff, alav hashalom, made a Kiddush Hashem in every aspect of his life. He gets the schar of a true Talmid Chacham. It's no wonder that his family loves and respects him so much. May his neshama have an aliyah, as he undoubtedly is enjoying the nachas from his entire family. Yehi zichro baruch.